This fight with Diaz was supposed to happen before, and it didn't.
I don't think George is hurt. I think he's scared.
George St-Pierre is a very nice guy, but he has a certain anger and fury inside of him for people who try to bully him, for people who trash talk.
What's up? Where you at, George?
No one has ever talked more about George than Nick Diaz.
I was pissed off. I wanted to fight that I should already got, you know?
Nick Diaz got George St-Pierre to take this fight over a fight with anyone else in the division. George St-Pierre wants to take revenge for the things that Nick has said and get him inside the octagon.
He's the most disrespectful human being I've ever met, and I'm gonna put the worst beating you've ever seen on him in the UFC, is what George St-Pierre said.
I gotta be the bad guy. You gonna point the finger, make me the bad guy. I'm the bad guy, now I get a fight.
All hell is gonna break loose inside that octagon. I think we're gonna see an incredibly aggressive George St-Pierre that doesn't just try to beat Nick Diaz. He's gonna try to destroy Nick Diaz. He's gonna try to take his heart.
And it is all over!
George St-Pierre is one of the best athletes you will see in all of sports. George is an excellent striker. He's excellent on the ground. His ability to control his opponents and nullify everything that they want to do is better than anyone out there. And I think that's really what makes George St-Pierre unique. He shuts you down.
Another takedown for GSP.
When I want to put someone down, I put him down. I'm the one who decides where the fight goes, you know.
George St-Pierre is one of the very best wrestlers that the UFC has ever seen.
His entries, his timing is better than anyone out there.
I'm not impressed about a lot of guys, even some of the wrestlers that I fought, they were supposed to be better than me. When I want the fight go somewhere, I'm taking the fight where I want it to be.
You're gonna take me down? Okay. Now you have to deal with problems on the ground.
And he's trying to finish the fight.
Nick Diaz is one of the best guys in the world when it comes to getting under a fighter's skin.
Everybody tried to cross the line with me, and they tried to get into my head. I don't mind what he says, what his entourage says. The only thing that matters is I fight the best of my ability, and the rest will take care of itself.
George St-Pierre! He is now, without argument, the greatest welterweight champion in UFC history.
Nick Diaz comes into every single fight ready for war, and he creates a battle right from the opening bell. As soon as that fight starts, Nick Diaz is in your face, and that's what makes him one of the most exciting fighters in the world.
Diaz going in for the KO!
He just gets in front of you and starts thumping on you. And then when he gets you tired and weak, then he comes with the bombs. Then he rips to the body with full force.
Scraping the body of Cyborg!
Nick Diaz is a great boxer, one of the best in mixed martial art. But I'm training with better boxer than him.
No, you're not, dude. You're not. You're not training with better boxers, because they'll knock your ass out. I don't want to hear about working out with better people than me. I don't want to hear about any of that.
Nick Diaz's endurance is outstanding. He might be the best cardio-trained fighter inside the octagon.
And then you talk about his jiu-jitsu skills and how dangerous he is in the transitions, his ability to lock up submissions from any different angle, and his defense. No one's gonna submit Nick Diaz. No one's gonna go out there and knock out Nick Diaz.
If Nick Diaz can get George overly emotional, if he can get George to take chances that he wouldn't normally take and make mistakes that he wouldn't normally make, that is Nick Diaz's best opportunity to win this fight.
The living legend goes down with a body shot.
George St-Pierre needs to go out there, wrestle Nick Diaz, control him on the ground, and beat him up, and really break his will on the ground.
You don't really neutralize that kind of strength, you know? You just gotta kind of be like water. Yeah.
I believe Nick has the style to make me look good. He's gonna make the best out of me come out into that fight.
I'm just gonna do 100% and hope things go well. That might mean me end up winning the fight.
After the first round, Nick Diaz will know that he's gonna have a bad night, and I'm a better fighter than he is.
Oh, just like that!
After Johny Hendricks knocked out Martin Kampmann, he truly believed he was going to be the next guy to face George St-Pierre.
According to the UFC rankings, I'm #1. I am the guy that should be fighting the champ.
He believes he has all the tools to beat George St-Pierre, and it starts with Carlos Condit.
Johnny's got a lot of hype behind him. You know, he's got #1 contender status right now. And, you know, a win over him puts me right back in title contention.
Carlos Condit is very diverse with his striking arsenal. He uses pretty much anything and everything, whether it's spinning attacks or flying knees. He's a very dangerous guy to deal with.
I'm a technical, experienced striker, and I know that I have what it takes to beat Johnny.
If he has a game plan, he's going to stick to it 100%, and I'm going to have to figure it out and beat it.
I'm going to do what I need to do in there and, you know, expect the best from him.
He has this amazing faith in himself that is a dangerous thing to deal with because he never stops. He's always going to be in your face, always trying to finish you, and that's a dangerous opponent.
I'm ready to go. I'm as good as I can be, as good as I've ever been. He's a tough fighter. He's a dangerous matchup for anybody, but so am I.
Johny Hendricks is a guy who comes from a very high-level wrestling background. He's deceptively fast, a tremendous wrestler with tremendous power, and people know that you gotta watch out for the left hand of Johny Hendricks.
What people don't understand is that I hit just as hard with my right hand, and also I think a lot of people still don't know that I'm that good of a striker.
Huge statement by Johny Hendricks!
If he can go out there and get another knockout win, he knows that his title shot cannot be denied.
A victory over Carlos Condit is like me holding the belt.
I definitely like another shot at George. A victory over Johny Hendricks will keep me right in that title picture.
All I have to do is get my hand raised.
Concerned, aware of his abilities, absolutely. But worried, we'll go in there and I'm gonna try to beat the out of him.
You don't know what's gonna happen. I will see him, he will see me, standing across the octagon, and that's when the fun begins.
The fight between Ellenberger and Nate Marquardt is a fight between two of the very elite in their welterweight division and two guys who are really pursuing that belt.
Ellenberger is a finisher.
Jake's a dangerous opponent. He comes out banging. He definitely goes for the finish. He puts it all out there. It's going to be a war.
I don't know if I'm the best welterweight in the world right now, but I know I can beat Nate Marquardt.
Huge left hand throw by Ellenberger.
Both Ellenberger and Marquardt are extremely explosive guys. Both possess knockout power. I think Ellenberger is a better wrestler than Marquardt, but he's shown a high level of striking. He's a guy who loves to get in there and finish as well.
I really like to stay aggressive because I do good when I'm offensive. Being aggressive and then really using that sense of urgency is going to be a key to winning this fight.
Marquardt coming into the welterweight division adds so much depth to a division that's already stacked with so much talent.
I'm always going for the knockout or the finish. 5 of my last 6 wins are by knockout, and I think that speaks for itself.
I'm not going to give him any respect when we fight, and that's just the truth.
Nate, the great Marquardt. Really impressive performance by Nate.
You know, UFC fans are going to see that I'm back, and I'm the same old Nate the Great that I always was. Even better.
I'm glad to see Nate back in the UFC. I think it's where he belongs, but he has the wrong fight. I'm on a mission to become world champion, and for me, I'll do whatever it takes.
George St-Pierre said that Nick Diaz is the most disrespectful human being I've ever met. And I'm going to put the worst beating you've ever seen on him in the UFC.